Okay, let's talk about one of the most powerful feature in Nmap. A normal Nmaps can tell you that a machine is running Apache or SSH or SMB, and that is actually useful, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. What if you want to know what's the website title, whether it's running WordPress, whether there is hidden directory or login pages, or even if the service has known vulnerabilities. That's where the Nmap Scripting Engine, better known as NSE, comes in. It's one of the most powerful feature, allowing you to go far beyond simple port scanning and start gathering real intelligence about your target. In this video, I'm gonna break down what NSE is, how its scripts work, and how to find out and run them, and how to use them as part of your practical workflow. So without any further delay, let's get started. All right, so before we do anything, let me recap what we have learned so far. Okay, so first of all, previously we have learned that how to find out, how to figure out if the host is alive or no, if the host is alive or no on the network, right? And second of all, we talk about what port are open. We talk about in detail how to figure out how to use the Nmap to search for the open ports, and what are the open port, what are the closed port. I have talked about a lot, like kind of bypassing the firewall as well. And the third thing we discussed previously is the service, what service is running. Let's say you find out the port. Once you find out the some specific port are open, for example the port 80, then what we learn after that is we talk about how to figure out which kind of service is running on that open port, right? And might be its version 2. And after that we talk about how to figure out the operating system that the target might be running using the Nmap. Now let's talk about what is NSE. Let me give you example first of all, and then I will just explain it to you. Example will makes it easier for you. Okay, so imagine you find out that the uh, port 80 is open and it is running Apache, and let's say you also figure out the version, doesn't matter really, but you only know that the Apache is running. You don't know what is the title of the website because Nmap did not tell you that. You don't know what are the hidden directories. You don't know what is the server header, what's in the server header, and what is in the robot.txt, or the website might be the target. Does the target have a WordPress installed or no, and is anything vulnerable or no? So Nmap doesn't tell you any of this. You can check it manually, but to do this manually it will take lots of time and you have to check multiple things, right? So to fix this issue, to solve this gap, Nmap introduces the NSE. Okay, so let's talk about the NSE. NSE stands for the Nmap Scripting Engine, right? This is just a fancy word, forget about that, and think about these are the script or program for Nmap that enables the Nmap to do more advanced stuff. For example, if you don't understand this, let me give you the example of the Play Store or App Store, right? So normally in Android, let's say no, there is not a chatting app, and you want to communicate with a friend. So what you will do is you will go to the Play Store or App Store. You will download the WhatsApp, for example, and you will use that WhatsApp to communicate with your friend. So the Android did not itself let you to communicate with your friend over the network, over the internet. The WhatsApp made you able to communicate uh, to your friend, right? Similarly, the Nmap is not able to do the advanced feature. It doesn't have more advanced feature. So for that we have scripts are basically the program, and each program does a specific thing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. For example, you can see over here that let's say we have script, and just this is just example. Okay, what script A does is it connect to the website, reach the page title, and print it out that yeah, the page title is this. Okay, another example of, let's say we have another script, okay, which connects to the FTP and try if the FTP allows the anonymous login, which doesn't require the anonymous login mean doesn't it doesn't require the credential, right? So if it will connect, the script will try to connect to the FTP, try the anonymous login, and if it succeeds, it will report it out to you, and if it gets failed, it will also tell you. So every single script has a specific job, right? I hope you get the idea. And here is why NSE is created. I just told you it just take lots of time to do these things manually. Instead, and the Nmap just introduces the NSE, and it just make things easier for us and takes less time. Okay, now let's talk about where script lives, where are those script, and how to find them, and how many are those script. So if you are on Linux, what you will do is, first of all, you must have the Nmap installed. And the updated Linux in the Nmap comes pre-installed. Okay, so if it install, there will also be the scripts that comes along with the Nmap. So there are around 600 scripts. Okay, these are for different purposes. I'm gonna tell you throughout this video what are those script, what does the script do, and what how we will find out, and for what purpose we will use. Okay, so look at here, we have scripts. Out of those 600 scripts, we have scripts related to the HTTP scripts that does stuff related to HTTP. Then we have scripts related to the SMB. Okay, related to the SMB. And then we have script to FTP and a lot more of the services. We're also finding our discovery script and vulnerability script. If some it checks that if something is vulnerable or no. Also brute force script to do the brute forcing, right? And over here, I told you this is okay. Actually, this is where the script lives. I forgot about that. The script, if you are on Linux, this is the exact location of the scripts. You can just type the ls and this location, and you will see all of these script that Nmap has. So it's in the user slash share slash Nmap, and inside the Nmap there is a folder called a directory called the script, and inside the script directory we have all of the scripts, right? And one more important thing we need to understand that which will make easier for us to figure out those script later on. So for example, the thing I'm gonna explain is why scripts, how scripts are named and why they are named that way. Okay, so for example, let's say we have this script and this is the real script name. Okay, so we have this is a real script related to the HTTP title. Remember I just gave you example that we have a script and it connects to the website and it checks the website or title and it then prints out to you. So that is exactly that script. So we have this script, and it, first of all, the name start from HTTP, then we have the hyphen, and then we have the title. So first we have the service. Okay, HTTP is a service, and then the hyphen title is the action. So it means connect to the website or the port ID and figure it out the title of that. So get the title of the website, it just means that. So this is one script. I'm gonna tell you this is another script, which means HTTP. Okay, this is a service and this is the action header. So means check out the HTTP header and tell us, read the HTTP header and print it out, tell us what's inside it. Another example, okay, we have the, this is for FTP related. So FTP anon means FTP anonymous. Try if check if the anonymous login is allowed or no. So this is the service and this is the action. So if you look at the pattern, these all of these scripts are kind of them. First of all, we have the service, and then we have the hyphen, and then we have the action. So service and action, right? uh, Almost every, over here you can see almost every NSE script follows this naming convention. This makes it easier to guess what a script does before you even read its documentation. So hope you get the idea why scripts are named this way. And by looking at just the name, you can just easily figure out that yeah, what this script might be doing with before reading the documentation of it. Hope this makes sense to you, right? Now let's talk about how do you even find script for a particular service. Okay, so suppose you figure out that a port 8 is open. Now you will be thinking like, what are the different ports that exist related to the port 80, the HTTP service. So what you will do is, you will, as I told you the specific location, what you will do is you will just type the ls, and this will list all of the script. Okay, and then we will use the pipe and then grep, like kind of first of all print all of the script and then filter it out to only HTTP. So because we only need scripts related to the HTTP, so over here we will just type the grep and then this guy right here, I don't know what that's called, and then HTTP, okay, in quotes. And this has a specific meaning, okay. And actually I'm gonna tell you what this means, but before that, what this will do or is this will list all of the script and then it will filter it out to only scripts that start from the word HTTP, right? So this guy over here, show it means show me only line that start with the HTTP. So as I said, all of this script that start with the HTTP, it will print it out to you. So the output will look like this: HTTP enum, HTTP title, HTTP headers, HTTP robot.txt. Right. So everything else will be ignored, and only stuff that start from that term you mention, it will only print it out to you. For example, that was for the HTTP. This is for SMB. Same thing, but in grep now what we're gonna do is we just have this guy, this little guy, and then the SMB. So it will do tell us all of the script related to the SMB. Okay. And let's say you want to find out the script related to vulnerability. Okay, like what are the script that is related to the vulnerability that exists already. So what you will do is you will type again and you will just type the vulnerability, and this will tell us any script that has the term vulnerability that we just specified over here. And if you look at this, let me just put the space over here. We did not type this guy right here, because if we edit this, it will only show all of the scripts that start with the this term specifically. So we don't want that. We want all the script that might have this word vulnerability, right? So that is why we did not put this. And anywhere in all of these script, nmap the grep will figure out all of the script that has this term, and it will then print it out to us. For example, this is SMB1, HTTP1, and FTP1. So that's how it works. And same is the case for if we want to figure out script related to brute force related script, we can just do it like this, right? So the overall picture is like, if you find out an open port, then you will be like, which port? Okay, so you will see that port is open, like is it HTTP, FTP, SMB, SNMP, whatever the port is. And then what you will do is you will be trying to figure finding out this script. So to find that script, that's the exact thing I just show you, that you will just type the HTTP or SMB or FTP like this way, the way I show you above. So this is what you will do, and once you find out script, you will then use those script. I'm gonna show you how you can also once you find out the script, how you can use that script, how you can run that script. Don't worry. Okay, the main point what we have talked about so far is that all the scripts are built in and stored in this specific location, and each script does a specific each program, each script does a specific perform a specific task, and we don't have to remember the name because it follows a very predictable, easily understood naming convention, the service and then the action, right? And we don't have to remember anything, we just need to use the ls and the grep and that little guy I just show you. That was all, pretty much all of this. Now let's say imagine somebody gives you, somebody hands you any script. Okay, it doesn't matter what script. For example, we have this script HTTP enum, and we have no idea what it does and what it is used for. Like over here we have some question: does it use for enumerating directories, or is it used for the brute force, or is it safe, is it whatever that is. So how do we actually find out figure out what this script is actually for? So we have actually a command which is the hyphen script hyphen help, and then we specify that script. So it will tell us the kind of proper documentation of that manual of that script, that yeah, the given script, the mentioned script is used for this, and this is how it is used, we can use it. So any script you came across and you just kind of stuck that you don't understand that what this script is doing is for, so you will have to use this script. Remember script help, right? Another thing is that no some there out of those 600 scripts we have some scripts, okay, that requires argument. Now what is argument? For example, the simplest example I'm gonna give you is that let's say use the brute force script, right? For example, you are doing brute force on some login form. So what you want to do is you cannot just specify the script, mention the script, and it will just run completely by its own. You will have to specify argument like since it's a brute force, you are doing brute force on a login page, it will most probably you will have to provide the username and the password so that it can do the brute force, it can do this stuff. Otherwise it will not be able to do this. You have not specified any arguments. So that is the simplest example. Same is the case for if you are doing on some other thing, the FTP, HTTP. This was, for example, this is a real example. Okay, this is the script, HTTP brute force script, and it tries the password, but which username, it doesn't know which username to try and which password to try. Then we will specify with argument that this is the file, these are the username, and these are the password. You have to test them on the target page, right? So that is how it works. Otherwise it will not work. Another thing we have is the wildcard. This is also related to the finding out script discovery. Okay, so this is the same command that we talked about earlier, and now this asterisk is new. So what this is, it means the wildcard, and it means simply anything after, print out anything that is after this. So we specify smb the static. So what it will do is it is like this, and it means it will kind of print out all of the script that start with the smb, and from smb we have different script that start from the smb related to the smb, like smb operating system discovery, smb user enumerate user, smb enumerate shares. Okay, smb vulnerability, this is specific vulnerability, we will be talking about this later. So everything that starts with the term that we specified, whatever's it will kind of tell us all of these. I mean, everything that begins with the terms we specified, it will just print it out to you and show it to you. Okay, and this is a visual summary of what we have talk about so far. This is, let's say you need a script, you search for it, we talk about how you can search it. And if you search a script and let's say you don't understand what the script does, so you will use the script help command and specify the script. It will tell you, you will understand what the script does, how does it work, and once you understand you will be able to run that. Okay, hope you understood what we talk about so far. Now let's talk about how we can actually run the script. We have talked about a lot what is script and how we can find out for a specific service. Let's talk about how we can actually now use it. So to use it, the command is simple, the syntax is simple. You will first of all type the nmap, because this is the main tool. Then with the hyphen script argument, you will specify the script you wanna use. Okay, and then you will specify your target. So this is the syntax, and for example we have this http title script. Okay, and we want to run this on this target. So again we will use this, and we will specify the script name exactly, and then we will specify the target. This is the format for the single script, right? So it will just kind of to, since the port 80 is open, it will then connect to the port 80 to the website and checks out the title and then print out the title to you. Here is we have another example. Okay, above one was for the http title, this is for the http header. Same thing, it will just do itself. Well, this script will tries to connect to that server, and once it try to connect to server, it will get a reply back from the server. So it will check the server header, the header, the response header sent from the server, and it will check for the information and then print it out to you. So that is how single script works. And if you want to specify multiple script, it is not that hard, it's also kind of the same thing. What you will have to do is just same type the nmap then script, and now what you will do is just put the comma after each script you specify, and then another, then another. whatever and how many script you want doesn't matter, okay? But you will have to follow this format. Just the comma, you don't need to put the space over here. Just this is the correct format, not like this will be the incorrect format, so make sure you remember this. Yeah, over here we have wildcard again. Above we just talked about, but now it's when you are running the any script, it's related to that. Above it was something else, but now it is something, it is related to something else, okay? So for example, you want to run script using the nmap and wants to run script, but all of not just single script, a multiple script, but all of the scripts are related to the http or another service. So instead of typing it manually one by one, what you can do is, since already know that I'm gonna run the scripts, all script related to the http or smb or ftp, whatever, okay? So what you can do is, the syntax is kind of the same like this nmap script, and then in the codes what you will do is type the, since if you are going for the http, you will type the http then the hyphen, because it means the script will start from the http then hyphen, and after that you will type the static, means wildcard. Whatever's come after the http will be executed, will be included in the script that nmap will execute, and then you will specify the target, okay? So it will kind of execute all of the script, like http this, http that, http that, all of the script, right? So I wanted to just let you know, but there is one important thing you need to keep in mind. For example, I'm gonna show you, okay? This is smb related, okay? For example, instead of the http you go for the smb, but smb only not include the script related to information gathering, but it might also include script related to the authentication attempt and test for vulnerability, and a lot more stuff that will generate lots of traffic and send logs to the their system. So if you are like doing some pen testing and you have authorized permission, but it is out of scope, that is not defined, that yeah, you will also be doing this, so it is kind of a bit uh I think it's not good to go with this. Just keep in mind this also include these kind of things, so be aware of that, right? Now we can also run script let category wise. What I mean by this is, we have category for like how you want to run script related to discovery, or you want to script related to vulnerability if something is vulnerable or no, or you want to run script related to the like default script. We can also do that just by specifying the category. For example, this is the script and discovery, this will run all of the script that is related to discovery, or this will run script vulnerability related, or this will these are the same, yeah. So the big picture is, the overall picture is that script, if you have a script, you figure out some service and you want to run script. So what you will do is, if you want to run a single script, you will specify it like this. If you want to run multiple script, you will specify it like this: script 1 then comma and then script 2 name, and so on. And if you want to go with the wildcard, you can go like this, or if you want to go with the category wise, you can just type the category name, and then nmap will execute these scripts and tell you the result, right? So hope you get the idea. And here is some of the useful command for the script related thing, that whatever we talk about, like nmap script, run one script, run multiple script, or all http related script, all smb related script. These are the exact command of these. You can just screenshot or whatever you want, to just kind of summary so that you will remember them. Or this is discovery related or vulnerability related, okay? Now that we have talked about the script, this category wise or wildcard wise or single script execution or multiple script execution, we have something called the default script, okay? Category wise, this is the default category of the script. It will just based on the services, nmap will itself like kind of figure out based on the service and execute the default script. To specify that with yours, you can just use the -sc, and it will run all of the standard safe and useful script. No, it will not actually execute all the script, not all 600 script or all http script or all hmb script, but it will run the useful script, right? Hope you get the idea. And the reason with this, we usually use this when we are doing the scan, because we just never kind of write the default the script name by itself, like for example http enumeration or http header or ftp anonymous login. These are the default and useful script. So when you use the -sc, it just run all of the script and give you the result, right? You never type them manually, it just do the itself. So keep this sc in mind as well. And we are pretty much done. Let us read few example whatever we learned so far from the start to till here. These are the real examples, so let's just kind of figure out what these are. And yeah, so we have a target. Okay, let's say we have target. We don't know what port are running, what are closed, whatever the services are. So we have a target. We do the port. We first of all check if the target is alive or no, if the host is up or no. Okay, and then what we will do next is the second thing we will do is the port scanning. Once we figure out what ports are open, we will then move into the service detection to figure out what exact service is running along with their version. If we find out some service that is like has old version, using old version, we can later exploit that. Then after that, what we will do is we will just use also try to run the default script using the -sc. Okay, after once we do all of these, what we will do after that is we will just since we will have the ports, we will then know that yeah, these are the services that runs on these specific ports. So since we will have the name of the service, we can go with the service specific enumeration. We can execute the service specific script. And once we execute that, since we all learn about the NSE script, so yeah, you can do that now. And after that, we will have a very clear idea. We will have lots of information, and we'll then look for any vulnerability in all of these and do some research. And if we find out some exploit, we can then attempt the exploitation, right? And before ending this, this is a real machine. Imagine this is a real machine IP, and this is a realistic scan. Okay, so we have this target IP machine. Okay, we don't know about the machine. Literally, we don't know anything, right? So as we talk about over here, that first of all, we will try to find out script, whatever, I mean the ports, what ports are open. We talk about this in previous videos. If you have not watched, if you don't understand how to do this, you should check out the previous video. You will understand this better. So once you run this, you will figure out the open ports, and then you will just know what doors are there and what are closed. Now with the -sv service detection, we will then know that yeah, this is a specific version, and this is specific service, and this is its version. Sometimes you will see the version, sometimes you don't, but yeah. So once you do this part, you figure out that yeah, we before we only get the HTTP, now we see that Apache this version is running this specific service, this specific version. Okay, now with this, we then run the -sc default script. Usually we just run both of these together, not separately. So it just use the run the default script as well as try to figure out the service detection, and then it tells us that yeah, these are the HTTP title, or these are the this or that based on the service. Okay, now here's where we get more specific service related. So example, we find out that on port 80 HTTP there is HTTP, and what we can do is we will then run the scripts related to the HTTP, like HTTP title, HTTP header, HTTP enumeration, robot.txt, HTTP methods, like gathering more information about it. Maybe we find out there is when doing or executing the script, maybe we find out employee portal where the employees go there and kind of enter their credential, right? For example, admin, or maybe we find out upload where the employee upload stuff, files and pictures, or instead of the HTTP we find out the SMB. Okay, SMB is like, we have not talked about this. I will talk about this in the later video, we'll understand this better, but it is related to the share folder, right? Assume you want to share some files over a network, you will use the SMB basically. So if the SMB is there, we will run the SMB related script. And same is the case for FTP, SSH, or whatever port is, or whatever service is there. And after that, once we have enough information, we'll then see, okay, we have enough information looking at the version of the services. We'll then plan out and research if any vulnerability exists or no. And after that, we find out that yeah, vulnerability exists for this and this and this. After the research, right, like above we talk about, we figure out Apache this specific version is running and these are its vulnerability. So yeah, we find out that. Now let's try to exploit that, let's try to attempt the exploitation. And this is how actually or all this works. Hope you understood all this. If you have any question, let me know. And in the next video, I guess we will be talking about the SMB, SNMP, and these HTTP enumeration. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. See you soon.